Coming up on Mountain News this morning, one nonprofit in the mountains carries on with neighbors helping neighbors after the July 2022 flood. And Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell gave his remarks yesterday about President Biden's diplomacy with China.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are coming up on 5 a.m. on November 16th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. Now, Brandon, another day of dry weather, I do believe, until we start to see some rain into the weekend.
Listen, we've got rain coming tomorrow. We've got rain potentially next week. And again, you're right. Today is another dry day across the mountains as we see temperatures and conditions out there in the 40s and 30s, I believe, this morning from the WYMT studios through Buffalo Mountain and Jenkins to London Corbin Airport to Pikeville to Moorhead. Not too much to tell you about this morning. Dry and a little bit on the cool side. Looks like 53 is our warm spot there at Jackson this morning. 33 in Clintwood is our cold spot. But again, just like yesterday, very similar forecast. A lot of 30s and 40s and just a couple of 50s out there. Your out the door forecast. Clear skies this morning. Sunshine this afternoon. Fire danger still high for one more day due to low relative humidities. But overall, it's going to be a nice day. It's going to be a day that you'll want to kind of savor there a little bit because some changes are on the way. Olivia.
All right, thank you, Brandon. Following the flood last July, Perry County native Kate Clemens began serving folks in Knott County. It started as Kate's Food Tent, turned into forming a nonprofit, which led to starting Max's Pantry through the nonprofit. Clemens says she continues to see a need and is continuously working to make sure no one goes hungry, especially during the holiday season.
The demand is very high, and like I said, right now our only focus is on level 4 critical, and what level 4 is, I'm basing that off of the USDA screener for hunger. So I've adapted the USDA hunger screener into my pantry form. So I really try every way possible to identify who needs it the most.
Clemens is doing Thanksgiving and Christmas food boxes, and she says she will be giving out hundreds, but still has a long wait list. For more information on how to help, find this story on our website. The Kentucky Blood Center's Big Blue Crush saw an increase in donations Tuesday. KBC officials say donors from both states improved upon the Big Blue Crush's kickoff. Just 2 days into the competition, there were 844 donors from Kentucky and 784 from Tennessee. Leaders at the blood center say every donation this week is critical for local hospitals, which faces challenges during the holidays. Police believe drowsy driving was a factor in a Bell County crash that killed a teenager and injured others. State police say a pickup truck was traveling south on US 25E and hit a passenger car. Police say that crash sent the car into a tractor trailer. Multiple passengers in the car, driven by 35-year-old Ashley Jordan of Pineville, were flown out for treatment. Officials say Kaylee Inman, a 15-year-old student at Bell County High School, died in the crash. The superintendent says another student was seriously hurt and that grief counselors will be available at the school. Kentucky transportation officials are reminding travelers across the Commonwealth to buckle up and put down the phone. Officials with KYTC say each year distracted driving results in more than 50,000 crashes. They say that amounts to more than 15,000 injuries and about 200 deaths. National figures show seatbelts reduce the risk of death by 45% for people riding in the front seat. Drivers using Kentucky 1098 in Breathitt County should expect delays today. Officials with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet say a contractor crew will be placing beams on a new bridge on Swift Branch Road. KYTC officials say the work will not begin until after the morning school bus run, and emergency vehicles will be accommodated. They say drivers should use the posted detour route. Kentucky Congressman James Comer is under an ethics investigation after an argument Tuesday with a Florida congressman. The Courier-Journal reports the Congressional Integrity Project, a left-leaning interest group, requested the House Ethics Committee to investigate him. Comer is chairman of the House Oversight Committee. He's been investigating the business dealings of President Biden's family. Tuesday, Florida Congressman Jared Moskowitz confronted Comer about his own business. He says Comer is investigating President Biden for something he himself did, loaning his brother money. Comer fiercely denied that and at one point said Moskowitz looked like a Smurf. He clarified his point was to note similarities between the loans, not to say either was wrong. Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell delivered remarks on the Senate floor yesterday about the Biden administration's China policies. Senator McConnell says time and time again the Biden administration has sacrificed competition for the sake of green climate policy.
Strategic competition with China is going to determine the course of the next century of American history. And yet, the Biden administration has too often met this historic moment with weakness and naivete.
Senator McConnell says the president's policies make life harder for working Americans. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. When we return, we'll have some tips about traveling for the holidays this year.
And the forecast continues to stay dry for just a little bit longer, but we do have some rain on the way, much needed rain. I'll talk about it and track it for you in about 3 minutes.